How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Mentally Illest Radio. Happy Halloween. We got a good show for you. You can skip to the time mark where the discussion begins, but we're going to listen to some tunes before we get started.
We're live right now.
What? What?
I stopped playing and we're live. There's dead air.
What's dead air right now?
I just stopped playing. I don't know. I'm just saying you're listening to. You haven't heard it because of the delay.
Oh.
So we should start talking. Remember, it's live.
Oh, I thought you were gonna play for 8 minutes.
All right. All right. You got it, man. Okay.
I want to know how I got these scars.
It's money.
That is fucking right. That is fucking right.
It's not Halloweeny, but it's music.
Oh my goodness. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the show. Just getting back into broadcasting. So I'm like kind of winging this, and we took a long time to get set up. So today we're going to be talking about a follow-up of the Halloween show that I did 3 years ago, the appreciation economy, but expanding upon it a little bit. The theme of this, the thesis, if there is a thesis, is going to be we're going to cover a lot of things like the digital ID and the Articles of Confederation, and talk about, again, emphasizing what the real social credit score is, making like the government social credit score obsolete, and centralized government versus governance services. So let's try to see if we can build this thesis coherently, with some definitions, of course, to start out with. So let's look up the definition of economy. Fucking AI, man. Like, you can't just get a fucking dictionary definition anymore, can you? The structure or conditions of economic life in a country, area, or period. Thrifty and efficient use of material resources. Frugality in expenditures. So not wasting. I'm not sure. You can, yeah, put it whatever. Efficient and concise use of non-material resources such as effort, language, or motion. Okay. The efficient use of resources. The arrangement or mode of operation of something. Okay. A system, especially of interaction and exchange. Okay. Interaction and exchange. The management of household or private affairs, especially expenses. Designed to save money. Wow. Very. Conditions of economic life. This is a poor definition. This is a very poor definition. Let's see again what AI had to say about the definition here. Is a system of trade and industry that governs how people make, spend, and save money and resources within a community, country, or globally. It refers to how wealth is created and used. There you go, wealth creation and use, and encompasses the flow of money between individuals, businesses, and government. The term can also mean the efficient use of resources to avoid waste, such as an economy of effort. It's fine, Sam.
No. It's okay. You want some more light than that? Is that atmospheric?
Not once does it say anything about free market exchange.
Is that atmospheric enough, Jared?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Fill me. Can Can you? What was
So
it?
we're trying to go over definitions to paint a clear picture here of what we're talking about when we talk about appreciation economy.
What economy? Defining economy.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to say anything about the free market exchange. It does say it refers to how wealth is created and used, and encompasses the flow of money between individuals,
Open a new tab
businesses, and government.
and search 1812 Webster's. That's it. And then search that.
Search economy.
Well, no, just search that. And then click on the first link.
Click on the website.
Yeah. All right, now search economy. Yeah. Oh yeah, have to hit accept. Now try it again. Yeah.
Okay, accept. God. The management, regulation, and government of a family or the concerns of a household. So it's that's management of regulation of government of a family or the concerns of a household. The management of pecuniary concerns or the expenditure of money. Still talking about money. A fragile and judicious use of money.
This is 1828.
That management
Hold
which
up.
expends
Do you see
money.
how it says 1828 in the URL?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the updated one. Can we go to the, okay? I know how to get to it, but you have to search this specific thing. Are you ready?
Hold on. The regular operations of nature in the generation, nutrition, and preservation of animals and plants.
Let me get you the 1812. Open a new tab.
Okay.
And search Gills, GILLS, space, exposition. Yeah.
Of what?
That's it.
Of the entire Bible?
You can search that as well. And then it's going to scroll down. That one right there, the King's Bible.
What does this have to do with anything?
And then, because it's how I know to get to it, scroll down, down to the bottom. And then, it says in our websites, can you click on where it says King James Bible Dictionary? Or, King James Bible Dictionary. That's the one. Okay, so this is a faithful, what's it called? Replication of the 1812 Webster's Dictionary. Just so everybody knows, you can hit accept. Now search economy.
What is the Bible definition better?
No, it's not. This is not the Bible definition. They say that because this is the first dictionary that actually was an authoritative dictionary in the English language. Oh, scroll up. It looks like economy wasn't in the 1812. I'm a little bit confused. I'm gonna look it up. You can continue reading, Jared. But yeah, go for it. Webster's 1812. 1828. I think we
There's nothing about free market exchange. It's all just about money and government, it seems like.
What? Yeah. But this is an old dictionary. That's the point, Jared. Remember how they obfuscate definitions?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point of getting an old dictionary.
Yeah, but even the old dictionary says that.
What does it say?
Primarily the management, regulation, and government of a family or concerns of a household, the management of pecuniary concerns or the expenditure of money.
Pecuniary? That's an interesting word. What does that mean? You're going to use Google's definition.
Oh, okay. Why not?
I've never heard of that before. Consisting of money, relating to money.
Yeah, they're talking about money economics, not like the whatever. Let's look up free market economics.
Jared, I'm having a Mandela effect right now.
Oh, really?
Like a strong one, yeah.
Why? Do you think something changed?
Yeah.
Like what?
I like palpably remember the 1812 Webster's.
But it wasn't 1812, it was 18 what?
28.
Oh, 1828. Maybe it was a misremembering like it normally is.
Who knows?
Free market economics, like this is according to the AI overview, not the actual whatever, is an economic system where the prices for goods and services are determined by the decentralized decisions of private individuals and businesses through supply and demand rather than by a central government or authority. It is often associated with capitalism and the principle of laissez-faire, minimal government intervention. So the idea of free market economics seems to be very different than the definition of economics, but I thought they were the same thing. Private property rights, voluntary exchange, competition, limited government intervention, and self-interest, and the invisible hand.
Economics is fake.
As articulated by Adam Smith, individuals pursuing their own self-interest
Did you know
and a competitive
economics
market
is fake,
inadvertently
Jared?
contribute to the overall well-being of a society. This self-regulating mechanism is also referred to as the invisible hand. I'm surprised that that's considered the
You should
self.
look up invisible hand. That would actually probably be fruitful.
Because I thought invisible hand meant something else. I thought it meant like
You should read the Wikipedia article for this one.
for self-regulating nature of a free market economy where individuals acting in their own self-interest inadvertently benefit society as a whole as if guided by an unseen force. So yeah, the self-interest of the individual is actually to the betterment and self-interest of the group, because the group is comprised of individuals in which the value is determined to the individual. What were you gonna say? What did you say, Sam?
Oh, you should read the Wikipedia article for invisible hand. Oh wait, even better yet, Grokpedia.
Grokpedia.
Yeah, go to Grokpedia.
Is that better than Wikipedia?
That's what Elon Musk says.
Well, fuck Elon Musk.
But also fuck Wikipedia. So it's a Sophie's Choice. I think that's what they call that.
I want to know how I got these scars.
So I thought the invisible hand meant like the oh, I'm mistaking the invisible hand and the hidden hand. Okay. Which I guess are
Maybe they're related.
Yeah, they must
Can you
sound
pull that up in another tab?
what, the hidden hand? The covert influence of the Chinese Communist Party as explored in the book Hidden Hand.
Can you open up that Wikipedia
Or the
article?
subtle unseen guidance of God in Christian theology.
Well,
That's not what the hidden hand I'm talking about.
I know, but I know what they're talking about. They're in in Christianity, people talk about the hidden hand of God.
No, we're talking about the hidden hand of the occult.
Can you please click on hidden, like the real? Yeah, thank you. The spelling.
I bet you if you go to images, it shows people putting their hands in their pockets.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, dude. Everyone does that, and I hate it because it's my favorite authors and everything, like Evelyn Waugh and shit. people that I'm just like, oh, I really love I love and respect the literature that you produce, but then you're putting your hand in your brief.
Speaking of the hidden hand, we're going to be talking about the Articles of Confederation a little bit later. But before we do that, I wanted to cover a few other definitions here. So just so you know, free market, when you look up economics versus when you look up free market economics, it seems that Google wants you to forget about the free market part, or the part where there's this thing called the invisible hand that self-regulates the economy. But let's look up. I wanted to go over the definition of hierarchy real quick before we do that. Okay, a system or organization where individual or group are linked.
Search it on the dictionary. Like, remember the 1828? AKA 1812, pre-Mandela effect.
Oh yeah, sure, why not? What?
No, okay. Search it, but don't click enter.
Hierarchy. An order or rank of angels or celestial beings, or a subordination of holy beings.
Remember, this is the real definition, Jared. The
Constitution.
original definition.
They mean the original definition came from the Christian definition?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Because hierarchy probably has a Latin root, and all Latin has this influence from Christianity, basically. Yeah.
Ecclesiological polity, comprehending different orders of clergy. Okay, so no, that's.
Wait, what's the other one? Wait. What's the other one? Constitution and government of the Christian Church or ecclesiastical polity hierarchy. That's very interesting that's how they defined it. You know what that means, Jared? That means that recent definitions are probably obfuscations of the word hierarchy.
So hierarchy can only refer to the church and angels?
That's all I'm saying is that better terms could probably describe the other words. Or the other things.
Last time I searched this, I got a little bit different of a definition here. Here we go, Webster. Are you fucking serious?
Wait, it's the way you're spelling it. Try Oh, well, okay.
There used to be.
Wait. What's 3? What's number 3?
A body of persons in authority.
Wait, that literally doesn't fucking describe what hierarchy is.
Yeah, like no. Am I spelling it right?
Well, just get the fucking spelling right first of all. Give me some of the definitions that they give you. Fuck. It's it'll get me a little bit heated, actually.
Yeah, they're not talking about when I did this a little bit 3 years ago, it was giving me a different kind of definition. It was saying that it was ranked by
step. We all know what a hierarchy is. Everybody knows what a hierarchy is, right, Jared?
So yeah, the word comes from the Greek hierarchos, which was formed by combining the words hieros, meaning supernatural, holy, and archos, meaning ruler. So hierarchy has continued to spread its meaning beyond matters ecclesiastical and governmental, and today is commonly found used in reference to any number of different forms of graded classifications. So where's the word status? There used to be the word status in the word authority.
Is it okay if I go outside with someone shoot a cigarette every now and then?
What kind of we're doing?
Because you can present on your own. Let me just smoke real quick. It'll help me, Derek.
Okay.
Let me just smoke real quick.
So before, when it said it is ranked by status and authority, for some reason I can't find status in the definition of hierarchy anymore. Now it's only referring to the church, an angelic grade of angels, and authority. But I wanted to look up the definition of status, because I think that's where the heart also is where the heart of the definition of authority of hierarchy is. A person or thing's condition, position, or rank relative to others, encompassing social standing, legal standing, or a general state of affairs. Usage includes examples including social status, legal status, or a status update on a project or social media profile. God, why does Google suck so bad now? Synonyms for the general meaning include condition, standing, position, or state. I guess they're saying like your social status. That's not what status I'm talking about. Okay. I guess the word really is rank. A position in a hierarchy, a measurement of linear independence in a matrix, or an ordering of items. So we're talking about a grade of value from lowest to highest value. This is what one of the theses I want to make here is that there's difference between titles and between having a title of something and having between being a title and a teacher, between being someone who actually has the truth and actually is ranked according to what somebody else has valued that person to be, who's also someone who deals in that field. So like and then being ranked by the government or ranked by a state or a system in which you can just be given the title of something based on what they value. So it's based on who valued. So rank can refer to a position in a hierarchy, a measurement of linear independence, but it's based on who made that value judgment. So, man, I'm doing this really poorly. I wish there was a better way to explain this, but because I'm looking for the right words here. But obviously, there's somebody who is higher valued by the people within a certain field, and then being ranked by the people in positions of authority and power, which is different. Like you can say like
Okay, where are we at?
I'm doing really bad here.
It's fine. Where are we at?
I'm trying to explain the difference between a title and a teacher, or somebody who has somebody who has been ranked by
credential.
Yeah, well, somebody who has a credential based on the value judgment of a student versus somebody who has been ranked by as a value judgment by an authority figure.
I really like this.
So yes, so if you're trying to learn a subject matter, you can either find somebody who you have deemed to have ranking above you, or you can go to top ranked whatever of that field and find what somebody what a system or organization or authority system or figure has deemed.
What's like a catchy phrase for doing that? For like trusting, maybe like trusting the experts, right?
Yeah, but not just like just trusting the experts, but like trusting an expert's title versus valuing the product yourself.
Yeah. No, it one of the trademarks or whatever, like of the free market from like the post-war economy going forward. So like World War II, after that 1950s, post 1950s going forward to the present day, there is this ethos that has ruled the day, which is that the customer is always right, Jared?
Yeah, and the customer, being the one that values your product, whose opinion of the product is worth more.
That's what the invisible hand is what trying to describe is that the free market rewards people or companies that actually create valuable products, right, Jared?
Yes. And when determining what's a good product, what's a good shit, man. I am not. This is a terrible outline.
No, it's fine. It's actually okay, but I want you to be able to add to it here. Did you know that it's okay to be not that good at first, but also, Jared, you have no idea how good you already are.
Okay, so
you have no idea how good you already are.
Okay. So, let's look up the social credit score. Actually, no, first let's look up governance. So, the definitions they give you, they all talk about government. But that's not what I'm talking about. Governance is a system of rules, processes, and authority by which a country, organization, or group is directed and controlled. It involves making decisions by an authority figure, implementing policies by an authority figure, and holding individuals and institutions accountable by an authority figure. Synonyms including government, management, and administration, authoritative management, authoritative administration, authoritative government. And examples range from corporate governance in business to private governance in national governments. Like they're talking about how is it private then, and global governance.
Say that again. Governance.
They said.
Can you go to the 1828 definition? Just humor me.
Sure. Yeah, because that's what we're really talking about when we talk about, status versus authority, or I guess titles versus teachers. What we're really talking about is government versus governance. So according to this, it's the government. Governance is government.
I like that distinction a lot. That's very cool. All right, we need to flesh that out.
No, but according to the King James Bible Dictionary, governance is government. Exercise of authority, direction, control, management, either of a public officer or of a private guardian or tutor. Okay.
Doesn't that cut to the throat of things?
They're still talking about it as if it's about government and authority.
That's what I'm saying. It cuts to the throat of things. It says any form of governance
government
actually a form of government.
Yeah. And technically it's true because when you talk about government being gubernari mentis, or controlling minds.
Here's the flip side.
Or controlling your mind.
Here's the flip side: is that not every form of government is truly governance.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, because governments are gangs, and they are rulers.
You see how that's like a classic like Aristotelian logic shit, where it's like Jared, listen, all A
Yeah, not all government is governance.
Yeah.
Or not all governance is government. So yeah, anytime you look for definitions of governance, there's very little examples, and there's no relation back to the invisible hand or free market economics. It's like you have to specifically ask about free market economics and put free market in there for it to even know that you're talking about the economics, or even know that you're talking about the invisible hand.
Okay.
So like in every sense of the word, when you try to look up the definitions of governance and economy, it always leads you back to money and government and authoritative titling of things, instead of the invisible hand and free market economic exchange and the value judgment of the individual, in which governs what is determined by the individual to have value and to have and for wealth creation is about determining value judgmenting what is wealth.
Okay. I see what you mean.
So so let's for a second, before we talk about the digital ID and what the real social credit score is, because that's what it's going to go to next. Not just, titles versus teachers, or government, or what was it, the other one I said? Titles versus teachers.
Oh, government versus governance.
Government versus governance. It's going to lead to the social credit score and the digital ID versus the real social credit score, which is the appreciation economy, of course, and the judgment of the individual determining the value based on what's good and what's false, or what's good and what's just a product that doesn't have value. So I don't know, is this a good time to go over the Articles of Confederation?
That would be a great time to transition into the Articles of Confederation.
So really quick history lesson here. Before the Constitution of the United States.
I would be interested in seeing what the 1828 definition is too of this. I'm sorry to beat a dead horse, but
Okay. So the Articles of Confederation was the first government of the United States. That was the one that we actually, or the people who fought to make this a country and, paid with their blood to become independent from King George, actually fought and died for. Was what was it called? Codifying
the law of the land. Yeah.
What's the word?
Ratifying.
Ratifying, yes, the law of the land into a document, or whatever. Articles of Confederation was the first government of the United States, ratified in 1781. That's only a couple years after the founding of the country at 1776, establishing a weak central government. A weak central government? It wasn't a central government.
That's the thing. It is. They're right to say it's a weak central government in the sense that, if you can call it a central government, it's only in the sense that they're all that all of these Confederate states are agreeing to this pact.
So it's
that's not exactly a central government.
Yeah, it wasn't a central government at all.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a what's the other word?
Confederacy.
It was a confederacy.
Yeah.
It was a government which comprised of sovereign states that were was there any federal government with the Articles of Confederacy, or is it literally,
like I said,
or was it
like I said, they were rejecting the idea of a federal government at first.
Yeah, so it was like every state was its own country.
Yes.
But they worked.
But they were abiding by this constitutional pact that was an allegiance between them.
Well, it wasn't constitution. It was
the
Confederate.
I say constitutional. I say, okay. The correct term is they were agreeing to this you have 13 colonies, and they're all sovereign states, right?
Yeah.
And they're all sovereignly agreeing to this pact.
Yeah. So
what would you call that? Like, exactly. Yeah.
a union. But it wasn't a government. It was just the union of sovereign governments. But I mean, this is going to show that, like, even though people fought and died for this belief that there should still be local government, the idea of government in general, I think, should be shown to be obsolete because of what happened. You can see what happened. They fought and died for a war, and then all the, the invisible or the hidden hand occultist had to do was push a document through Congress.
My question is this, Jared, to challenge you to push back just a little bit. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying that's an example
I know.
of how this Confederacy failed.
I'm sympathetic to this. I'm sympathetic to this, Jared. You know that. But I want to push back on a deeper level. Okay. You challenged the legitimacy of all government, correct?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But this union was a union between 13 sovereign states, right?
Yeah, it was a union. It wasn't.
But if you're gonna try to defend that, you're gonna have to defend 13 states that are governments.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to defend the Articles of Confederation. I just want to. I'm not trying to defend this. I'm not for the. I just think that the original founding principle of America was based on the idea that we don't want any centralized government. We want a government that is local, who is only concerned with the so it's basically a give and take relationship between the locals and the administrators, or they wanted someone to be a local administrator of delegating. It was still a delegation of authority. It was still a choosing a representative instead of realizing the power that the people had as individuals. But they believed in an organization and management on a local level.
Can I ask you if this is what you believe, is that it was a
localized central government.
Oh, well, okay, wait one second.
It was like they believed in a localized central government. The idea of a government where it's a representative, or it's the delegated responsibility, instead of taking individual responsibility, delegating your responsibility to an administration.
Do you believe that? I mean, if I was going to paraphrase what you're saying, I would say that your starting premise is that the 13 colonies, that their local, I mean, their sovereign state governments weren't really legitimate, because everybody has sovereignty and there's no such thing as sovereignty outside of the self.
Yeah, outside of the individual.
So then, when you defend the Articles of Confederation, it rings a little hypocritical. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Because you already don't agree with the 13 colonies having sovereign states.
I didn't say I did. Wait, how is it hypocritical?
Well, if you're saying that the Articles are better than the Constitution, which I personally agree with,
yeah.
Like, you're saying that they're better than the Constitution, we agree on that, but you're still saying they're wrong.
Yeah, they're still.
Yeah.
It still misses the mark of like the idea the idea that that governance has to be delegated to a government, when governance is an individual responsibility.
Okay, please expound on that. I'm really sympathetic to that, but I'm also sympathetic to government. So go ahead.
So for some reason they didn't think that the layman had it in them to understand this, like that people were too stupid to take this responsibility. So they needed, I guess that's what they're saying, or they're saying, it's like they were saying like it's like they themselves didn't didn't have faith enough in individuals to self-govern their local communities. Self-govern meaning individuals providing private governance services to delegate or to manage problems that you have, like crime and economic minorities, or economically, homeless people and poor people, and how to address and deal with local problems, or like stuff like infrastructure. Who's going to build the roads?
That's what I want to know about.
Who's going to build the roads? Who's going to provide,
The infrastructure.
Electrical, electrical grids, the plumbing grids. That these things need to be delegated to a centralized but local centralized, or like the Constitution is taking it to where somebody manages the states, whereas the original idea was that the states manage the people, and even that idea of the states managing the people is thinking that people aren't enough to create.
States are necessary.
What?
I don't think states are necessary.
Well, in an age where they're going from a king, they need a transitionary. It's like they need a transitionary system. So like
Can you explain that to me? Why today in 2025 are states not necessary?
Because states are comprised of what do you call it? Counties, and counties are even more local than states. So it's like and counties are comprised of neighborhoods, which are even more localized, and the neighborhoods are comprised of blocks, right? So like if you're gonna govern based on what the local need is, the local demand, which means supply and demand, like providing the demand to meet, or providing the supply to meet the demand of the local needs. It's the idea of a state over a centralized government is to address the local over the non-local. But you can only go, but the state local level is still not local enough to address, the local problems, or the local demand in which supply is not being adequately provided for. So what we're really talking about is the demand of services, okay? Not the demand for government. Government, what it does is it puts a title. It puts a title on something, and what's the word? Inclusive, or not inclusive, but exclusive. It excludes anybody who doesn't want to go through the channels of the authority management center to be able to compete and provide services for his area. If he sees a problem or a market that could be filled, and has the resources and the know-how and the desire to fill the demand, to meet the demand with a good product or service in his area, it would all the idea of a title or a centralized delegated management center is exclude people from being able to participate, thereby creating scarcity when we could have an abundance of competition. It excludes the and creates a scarcity of competition and competitive services that could provide government, or could provide governance service to their local community, whether it be their block or their county. Most likely their block, but I guess anybody could become so successful because of how good they are at it that they would expand to providing service to their whole county. You know, all government does is bars people and blocks people from being able to participate in healthy competition. And then you say, oh well, what about the regulation or the audit? What about the auditors? You need state sanctioned auditors to be able to judge for us whether or not a product or service is good enough to stay in business. Why can't regular people decide to just not buy it? Like, we could we could have private auditing services. Like, you know, how much do you trust the government auditors when they can just be paid off with government tax money?
No.
When if you had a private auditor,
I don't trust government anything. But that's the thing. That's why I'm like sympathetic to Trump in some sense, because he's doing the will of the people in the sense that he promised on the campaign trail to like fire government workers, and he's been doing that. So if he keeps doing that, I'll continue being a little bit happy. Well, I don't care. Like I said, all I care about is line go down, right? Line go down. If the line of government workers employed go down, I'm happier, a little bit happier. That's all I'm saying.
you didn't have to do anything.
What?
So of course you're. I mean, like.
Well, because the thing that's oppressing me is getting a little bit weaker. Isn't that something to celebrate?
You're still celebrating oppressors.
But I know I'm not. I'm celebrating the weakening of an oppressor.
Well,
Because
you're appreciating the competition of weaker oppressors.
You have to remember.
But you're still supporting oppressors.
You have to remember, it's one government comprised of 3 branches.
Can you come over here and?
Sure. I was gonna go out for another cigarette.
No, yeah, please don't.
Jared, 2 minutes. You have to give me that.
No, but like we have to be able to sit down for a full show here. Okay.
But Jared, you have to carry it sometimes, right? So like, all I'm saying. Okay, what I was saying is this.
Can we sit down this whole time though after this? Whatever you have.
See, I know.
Like, please, I don't want to do this.
I know.
We need to be able to sit for a full show here.
Let me try to sit down for a while. But hey, Jared, can I smoke it one more cigarette and try to sit down for another
while you miss all these points that I'm trying to make here. Yeah, I'm supposed to be presenting this to you.
I'll listen to you, bro. I'll listen to you. I promise. But Jared, listen. So the point I was trying to make is that with Donald Trump or whatever, is that our government is comprised of 3 branches. You got the executive, legislative, and judicial. And right now, it's like it's configured in such a way. Are you ready to hear how it's configured currently? Is this legislative and judicial are totally opposed to the people, just like how they've always been, and the executive branch has always been opposed to the people. Now Donald Trump. He campaigned on all these things that the country elected him on to do, and normally presidents don't do those things, and normally candidates promise those things and don't deliver them. Now Donald Trump is actually like delivering some of them, and like. One of them that I actually like is firing government workers. Jared, he campaigned on firing government workers and he's doing it. So what I'm trying to say is this: that there's one branch out of the 3 branches which is currently trying to do what the people elected it to do, and well, if people elected Trump on the campaign on the platform of reducing the of firing useless government workers, then and then he's actually reducing the government workforce. Well, like that's a promise kept. And the problem with that, Jared, is that, like I said, the legislative and judicial branch are 100% opposed to that, and the judicial branch is blocking like a significant number of Trump's actions, you know, in a lot of these, like their executive actions that the judicial branch is blocking. So here's the thing. It's creating a new dynamic. It's creating the dynamic of this. There's one branch, the executive branch, that in this current moment, right now, it could change at any point, but at this point, it's trying to do what the people elected it to do, which is to basically deliver a little bit of a beating to the bloated bureaucratic, you know, state federal workforce.
It's not working. Whatever it is, it's not working.
It's not working because the judicial branch is standing up and saying, we have more authority than you do, Donald Trump, and that's fine, because who cares what they do? I'm just describing it to you, Jared. I'm just describing the situation to you. So it's like this. The Constitution sets up the three branches of government. Right now, the executive is trying to do something that the people want, and the two other branches are...
We're talking about the federal government.
Federal is composed of three branches.
Yeah, which is supposed to regulate a whole nation, regardless of the individual problems of each individual state. So it's already based on that flawed and not working. Because not every single place in the country is
That's
exactly the same.
why we're looking at the articles, because the Constitution... Can we actually go over how the Constitution is like a bastardization?
Yeah, why don't you cover that?
Okay.
The history of the Articles of Confederation and how it differs from the Constitution.
Alrighty. Well, Jared covered the beginning. He talked about the Revolutionary War and our independence from Great Britain, and how the thing that was established at first in 1781 was the Articles of Confederation. Now let's open a new tab and just open the Constitution for a little bit of contrast. Constitution. Alrighty. U.S. Constitution, though. U.S. No Gemini description for that. Alright. So like we said, Articles of Confederation were ratified in the year of 1781. And the Constitution was ratified in
1785?
Sorry. Yeah, no, not 1785. Good point. Good guess. Good guess. 1788.
Okay.
And so what is that? 7 years after the Articles. So we had 7 years of governance under.
I'm surprised it took so long to ratify the Articles if we won the war in 1776. So for 1776, they were still operating under the law of the land before it was ratified.
That's the thing. There was no crisis.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything was just business as usual. Yeah. And this whole the thrust of the argument here is that the Constitution was a manufactured crisis, and that it was, the whole point of it was like elitists who were like basically following a script to implement federal banking, like implement the groundwork for federal banking, and then social engineering that would follow that, and all that, everything that follows that. But basically they're laying blueprints for things where like federal banking already existed, and they saw how good it was as a social engineering tactic in European nations, and the United States had declared independence, and they were anxious to.
So wait, so there wasn't any federal government yet, and there wasn't any like three branches of government yet.
That's interesting, honestly, because
Let me make a point here. The whole three branches of government is supposed to give us like this comforting feeling that there's a balance of power in the federal government, but it's already a detachment from the people. Like the idea of a local government is the people tell the local government what to do because the local government is directly located around the people.
you're talking about the difference between direct democracy and a representative republic.
Or no, or
Because a representative republic is something where we vote for our representatives who are our rulers. And then the direct democracy is the theoretical concept that we could all be just perfectly equal in the sense that we're all rulers, that we all vote on every single statute. And that's more like how it operates on a local level.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is there's a more of a connection or an incentive to not piss people off when the government state house, where the people who run government, who are the administrators of the will of the people, do their business in their offices, are located locally, like geographically right next to the people who they are supposedly representing. So if they piss people off, the people could burn that building down and no more government. Whereas the federal government is like this disconnect where they tell the people, hey, this is what we have decided on your behalf, and don't worry, we have this this three sections of government that regulate. Don't worry, there's a balance of power. You got to take our word for it, but there's no building you can burn down if you don't like it.
Let's ask Claude. That was cracking me up, but I want to know what Claude says. Here's my question. Here's my burning question. So don't say anything for a second. Let me ask it. Okay. They say.
It calls me Jay. Evening, Jay.
That's what I put because I don't want to put your name.
Oh, okay.
They say the Articles of Confederation were ratified in 17. Give me the date. 81.
31.
They say. Okay. What was the law of the land between the years of 1776 and 1881? $1781. Thank you. Okay. Okay, the Articles of Confederation were actually drafted and proposed in 1777, not 1881. Okay, so Google lied to us, maybe a little bit. Okay, so Congress sent them to the states. Wow, 777. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, 1776 and the next year.
Are you kidding me?
But yeah, for sure.
Jackpot.
6 and 7.
No, but jackpot.
6 or 7.
777.
Oh yeah, jackpot. Yeah.
Okay. Congress sent them to the states for ratification in November of 1777. But it took until March of 1781, I guess that's where we get that date, for all 17 states to ratify them. Maryland was the last holdout. Okay. During the interim years, the law of the land was each state operated under its own constitution and legal system, which had the most direct impact on citizens' daily lives. This body functioned as a de facto the Continental Congress functioned as a de facto national government without formal constitutional authority. It conducted the Revolutionary War, conducted diplomacy, issued currency, and made collective decisions, but it operated more on practical necessity and voluntary cooperation than legal authority, because there was such a mutual effort at the time. You know what I mean? There was what's it called, a rallying cry. There was a opponent. Can I share with you a quote that I've memorized?
Who was the opponent?
Britain.
Oh, okay.
Can I show you the
Sure.
quote?
Yeah.
It's from Franz Kafka. You know, like the Metamorphosis, the guy that turns into a cockroach or whatever. You know that guy?
What?
Franz Kafka.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Do you know the author, Franz Kafka? He wrote a book called The Metamorphosis.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're saying the book. That was what the book was about.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Trying to give lay a little bit of context. Anyway, he wrote a book later in his life that was just like aphorisms. Do you know what aphorisms are?
What?
They're just like short pithy sayings.
Okay.
Do you know what that is? An aphorism? Look up aphorism.
Well, I'm just really curious about what this book is about, real quick. What an interesting story. Okay, sorry, what were you saying? Aphorism?
Yeah, aphorism.
Concise, memorable statement that expresses a general truth or principle.
Alright, so like Franz Kafka wrote a book later in his life that was just a book of aphorisms. Okay?
Okay.
And one of them was this, Jared. A true opponent. Oh, I'm sorry. From a true opponent flows into you limitless courage. Or from a true opponent, limitless courage flows into you.
Okay, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay, so the England was a true opponent.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's the idea that you become the best version of yourself.
Yes.
Under the presence of competition. That's why the free market relies on competition to get the best products and the best services.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to lay that groundwork that the country was founded on this principle, really a spirit of limitless courage that came from a true opponent.
Yeah. So.
The Articles of Confederation were the ratification of the laws of the land that were already existent. That's what we were trying to say earlier. They were already there.
Yeah.
And that those laws sort of matured into this rallying cry against a true opponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a beautiful thing, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud that I live in the lineage that comes from that. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
All right, that's okay. And then I was also just, yeah. So going back to the contrast between the Constitution and the Articles of Confederation, is that and we went to Claude to learn about the what was it called? The interim years. Interbellum also is I don't know. Interim years. Between, the independence and the ratification of the Articles of Confederation, which was like a few years, 1776 to 1881, 5 years or whatever. So like they were just governed by state constitutions, which were already in place that had ratified the laws of the land, common law, things that came from England already, but was detached from the hierarchical royal structure of England and all European states at the time.
Yeah, because I bet you there's parts of England
Yeah.
that the king plays very little role. Just leaves people to rot, and then when people just learn how to just get along and do business with each other and survive or flourish, depending on how well people are participating, then
Do you know what common law is?
it just goes to show that like life goes on. It's business as usual, regardless of if there's government governance or not. There's still governance.
So hey,
there's still
Jared, by the
governance
way,
without government.
Before we move, because I could seriously talk about this for a while, but remember we have some other topics. Do you want to move on?
Well, I wanted to show how the Articles of Confederation was what people fought a war for, and then these occultists.
I'll just tell the little
in.
story. I'll just tell the little story because all of us when we were in grade school, like I don't know, third, fourth, fifth grade, like with the trapezoidal tables that we sat at, two to a table perhaps. We all learned that the Articles of Confederation were bad because they were weak federal government that caused a lot of chaos because we needed a strong federal government. And so the Federalist Papers were written by a group of anonymous writers who were probably the founders, and then they were spread around the country, and they stirred up this sort of like a propaganda campaign. They stirred up this national fervor for a constitutional convention to be held, and so 8 years after the Articles of Confederation were ratified, there was a constitutional congress that was held by all the founders of the country who signed like the Declaration of Independence and all that. All these people, like the people who are high up in, I guess, the state governments, right, of all the 13 colonies, got together, and like here's what's funny, and this is what that guy in the Quash podcast was. I was trying to find this part where he talked about this, where the the Constitutional Congress was a joke because there's literally no records of it. And it's because, and like it's almost like an urban legend or a legend or a myth, a national myth that it was held anonymously for the sake of like free and open debate among the delegates, but that there's all these like little like tee-hee tidbits about like, oh, they shuttered the windows so it was so dark that they had to light it by candlelight. That's not a real one, but shit like that, like all these little anecdotes about how secretive it was, right? Yeah. Okay, you get the point. So
it was a Jekyll Island story.
Yes, Jekyll Island. Thank you. Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, it was another Jekyll Island story. They had to meet in secret. Yeah. They had to like schedule it and then change the date to make sure that the right people were there and the wrong people weren't there. Yeah, and it was very secretive, and they knew that all they had to do was push the document through, and they could do it. Like they literally
Can you tell the rest of the story? I want to smoke cigarette.
Okay, so they literally that's the last one for the show. Okay.
What? Okay, promise.
So they literally undermined and subverted the reason why people fought a war. Okay, like they fought a war to ratify the law of the land that they actually believed in at the time, which was that they wanted local governments, local state governments, to be sovereign and to not have any, to be able to be to rule independently their own districts, which is still a a delegation of your responsibility as an individual in the free market to make your neighborhood better if you see a problem. You know, like it's still saying like people are too dumb to be able to make value judgments. They need like
cool
they need like
it's like
they need like a stamp of
stuff
approval.
that I knew intuitively and things I've learned through research, but talking it through is actually fleshing it out in an extremely like beneficial way.
I'm glad. So it's like people still, even when people believe that the law of the land was the Articles of Confederation, they still needed that stamp of approval of the state of some kind, even their sovereign state government, to seal of approval the governance services, because they weren't able to make value judgments themselves as individuals, which is a damn shame, you know, like but it's really diabolical though that literally like the people who founded the country didn't understand how like they put all of these fail safes supposedly to stop King George from being able to take over again, and yet but they didn't account for the occultists' hidden hand, and that all they needed to do was within their system of you know magical documents, just push a document through, and they could change the whole reason why they fought a war, and they easily did it. They easily, you know, passed the Constitution to supersede the Articles of Confederation, and thereby creating a federal government, which was pretty much like almost the exact same thing. It was a large government that wasn't accountable to the individual local areas. That and there was no local building that you could go burn down. It was you know, if you didn't like it.
Well, I mean, they did like construct Washington D.C. as like a planned city.
Okay, so Sam, this next part I really wanted you to be here for, so I'm
I'm
gonna play a little song so I can go out and smoke with you real quick.
All right.
Let's see here. Let's do. Fuck it. Hold on, we're just gonna do a break real quick. Just hold on a second, guys. Let me just. I don't know.
My father was
Oh, I know.
a drinker.
Do you have the headphones in?
No, I don't. I know.
No?
Are you listening?
No, but you're not
Okay.
hearing the sounds I'm playing.
Oh, you're playing something right now? Okay. Are you still playing them?
I'm a little goblin, Jared.
Well, I want to play like a little music.
Jared.
Do 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 do.
Wasn't that a cool song?
Say what?
Do 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 da da da. Bum 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 bum. You know what I'm talking about? That song I showed you earlier? You should play that one. Eddie Finger's Graveyard Shuffle.
No, that's cool. It's cool. I'm
Okay.
playing this
Alright.
song. Do you got anything else playing right now?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll give us 5 minutes, guys. We'll be right back.
Oh man, you always do that.
What?
I think you're coming out of here. That's it.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. We are talking about
Like Josiah,
the appreciation economy
minus the meat,
and
like not the meat. 3, 4.
currently we are talking
Can you
about
guess what
the
they are?
progression of government. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'll tell you later,
We're,
Josiah.
we're talking about the progression of government and the progression of value, making value judgments of products and services. So we talked about how the Articles of Confederation was a ratification of the law of the land and what the founding fathers fought a war over.
Hey, Jared.
And
just remember to keep it down. Yeah, that's all. You're fine.
yeah.
You're fine.
Okay. And the next stage, well, there was many stages after that, but the like amendments to the Constitution and
Yeah.
like once you have
I said earlier before the recording that I feel like the Bill of Rights was like a concession to the people for the crime of co-opting the Articles of Confederation and doing a coup, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So once you have a federal government, and once you legitimize that idea of there being a separation of the people who you delegate the right to organize these certain governance services that are essential, or infrastructure services that are essential to a local economy, and then there's a separation of who is like who manages this, and then the people who are managed, where there's no building to burn down if they're unsatisfied. Now it's like
It's distributed.
yeah.
Okay, so
Once there's a separation of this, then they can just go wild with power. So the newest government that they're trying to destroy the Constitution and pretty much bring us into the same realm of government as they did in China, the social credit score. With the digital ID. So I want to just do a little live search of the digital ID so you guys have an idea.
I don't know even what fucking button I pressed. Oh, that's actually not the good one. Okay. Here we go.
A digital ID is an electronic representation of a person's identity that can be used to prove who they are to access online and offline services, such as applying for jobs, proving age, or verifying identity at passports. These systems are created by combining personal data, often initially verified by a government or organization, and can include multiple types of digital identity formats. They are used to streamline identity verification, reduce the need for physical documents, and improve security through features like encryption and selective data sharing. So that's a really that actually doesn't really go to explain the extent of what a digital ID is. It's a driver's license that goes on your smartphone. But it's also can be issued by government entities or non-government organizations. But of course, it'll be a government that monitors this, like they do in China.
Digital ID, and 2025 is, what is it, Christmas or New Year's Day 2026 or something like that is like the deadline for getting it on your driver's license in nationwide, basically, right?
Say that again.
I think the end of 2025 is the deadline for getting it on your driver's license nationwide if you want to travel on a plane.
So it's not the same thing as a real ID, right?
What? No. Well, I mean, real ID. Well, oh, sorry. I thought you meant okay, you're talking about real ID. Yes, it is. Yes, it is the same as real ID. I thought you were just saying real in the sense. Yeah, it is the same thing as a REAL ID.
Yeah, so it's not the same. The way digital ID can be real ID compliant.
Jared. That's propaganda. It is the same.
Okay, so it's just the digital version of the real ID.
Yes.
The real ID has an RFID chip in it, and it's the same. It's like a more trackable they basically want to be able to govern who you can do business with. It's this idea of like a third party in every interaction, because people can't be trusted to.
Sorry, I won't try to.
Make.
Try not to do that.
According to the government, we can't be trusted to decide who we do business with and to make value judgments of what services aren't scams for ourselves. We need the government to regulate that for us, because the government isn't trying to scam us, right? They have the legitimate services that we can rely on and count on. Then they're not trying to scam us at all.
USAID is your friend.
So what the digital ID? I had this article open here.
Vietnam.
So when was this written? Show when this article was written. Oh, 2023.
Okay.
So, smart data-driven governance or digital dystopias. Inside China's social credit system. They implemented their social credit score system in 2021. Or was it 2022? I think it was 2022.
It was, honestly, I feel like it was earlier than that. Yeah, I feel like it was like at least a decade earlier than that.
No, but when they actually
2013 or something.
No, when they actually implemented the social credit score was 2021.
But I remember hearing about that when I was in high school. That's what I'm trying to say, Jared. I remember hearing about this shit when I was in high school. That was like 2012. Jared.
Yeah. Okay, well you heard about it, but they didn't implement it fully.
Okay.
Like they were talking about it. There was all this propaganda for it.
Okay.
They were putting it in people's heads. They were, what was it called?
Predictive programming.
Predictive programming it for everybody, so they would accept it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Sorry. I keep getting up.
So it's basically the implementation of a surveillance state. I showed you that video earlier in the last video. They can pretty much control and bar. You have a score based on your obedience level to the government, and we talked about how this is really just it's attempting to ratify the law of the land yet again. The Articles of Confederation was an attempt to ratify the law of the land. Yeah. The law of the land is the appreciation economy, which is already in effect. People are already punished and rewarded by the individuals in their life based on the behaviors that they
define appreciation economy.
It's the wrath or gratitude that you get from any product, which is either a service or a good, or a behavior.
I didn't know that.
So and like already in your lives, if you do certain behaviors,
I didn't know that.
You
use that phrase a lot, and I didn't know that until you just said that just now. That's what it meant.
So they're trying to ratify this already existing mechanism in socializing, in the way we socialize and do business with each other. You already have a score in people's minds based on how well you have provided quality products or services, or or behaviors. If you've provided quality products and behaviors, and we talked about how even if you have a surplus of gratitude with somebody, you can still over time through bad behaviors or bad products and services or bad consumer practices, for example, decrease all of the gratitude that you've gained over time until you go into the deficit, until there's no more gratitude anymore.
It's negative gratitude.
An example of this, I actually wanted to bring this up, is the Nintendo Switch 2.
No, for real.
Like everybody,
for real.
Like seriously, when Satoru Iwata died.
Let's keep it brief because remember we want to get to Vietnam and also next.
Satoru.
Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Go on.
Iwata, was that it? Yeah, Satoru Iwata. He was a gamer who was running Nintendo of America. He died, and I guess a bunch of like business people who aren't gamers took over, and they used all of the goodwill that Nintendo had been building over like 3 decades of quality products and services, and started and released the Switch 1. They kind of like were pulling a bunch of the consumer friendly practices, but then they kind of went all mask off, devil may care or whatever. on the consumers with this latest Nintendo Switch 2, which apparently is not as successful as being advertised. Like Nintendo is advertising it as like the highest selling
everything
console.
today is fake and gay.
Yeah.
Everything today is fake and gay, including all the numbers for like sales and stuff.
Yeah, just because, and also not including the accounting for inflation. You know, like the Superman movie was so good, they just had to put it on streaming right away so people could see it.
Yeah. Anyway,
You know?
go on with the Nintendo.
So like, it's a good example of how you can get people to defend you while you're shitting in their mouth because you have all this built up gratitude over 3 decades. But eventually people figure that shit out, and then you ruin all of the goodwill that you've built up over 3 decades because of bad service, bad product, bad consumer practices, bad behaviors. And this is you can already see how, without even a social credit score, there's no social credit score, but people already know what Nintendo's credit score is to them right now. They already know because of how shitty Nintendo is being toward them. It's like you don't need a score number to know that Nintendo's score is in the shitter, and that you shouldn't buy their products anymore.
Mario Kart sucked.
Yeah, Mario Kart World sucked, and like they're trying to force people to play the way that they want them to when no one wants to play that way. Nobody wants to drive on straight tracks between races. They just want to be able to play 3 races in a row. Nintendo says, "Oh, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You have to play 2 straightaway tracks and then play only one lap of the actual race tracks." And then when people tried to mod it, they fucking like punish those people, like, you know, like you're going to play the way that we want you to play, you know. So anyway, I'm just saying, like, it's a good example of how this appreciation mechanism and the boycotting, you know, it's also cool because people are learning how to make value judgments themselves now. It's like in this new climate, in this new climate of people thinking that people are retards.
Can I pose something to you?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Basically.
Well, wait. Let me just make this thesis real quick. In this new climate of people being treated as if they're retards and that you're gonna buy whatever we put out there because we're Nintendo, or you're gonna buy whatever we put out there because we're Disney, or you're gonna whatever it is, the company that has all this good faith because of decades of good products and services, and now all of a sudden new management takes over and they think that they can shovel shit down our throats. And the titles are all line up, like, you know, what's wrong? That we have our titles. We're Disney. We're Nintendo. We have a title, which means that we're good because the title means good. And people are realizing, like, no, like, me as an individual, as a consumer, can make a value judgment that this is shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So like, yeah, like, you as an individual can value judgment products and services and behaviors that people make, regardless of how great their products and services and behaviors were in the past, and choose to stop buying it and choose to look for other competition, you know, like Pal World or whatever, that like fills the market for the shitty Pokemon game that fucking, you know, that Nintendo wants to release. I don't know if you heard about the
Can you search Nintendo DMC and maybe Nintendo DMC Game Boy? DMC. Okay. Oh, DMG. That's it. DMG. No. Can you search like DMG on Google? Go down a little bit. More. DMG. Actually, just search Game Boy. And Game Boy DMG. Game Boy DMG. Yeah.
How is that going to be different? What are you looking for here?
What do you think DMG means? Oh, DMD. Digital Matrix Display. No, wait. Just search Game Boy for a second, can you? And go to Wikipedia. DMG, Digital Matrix Display, DMD. Develop in the development section, basically. So go down. Okay. Go down. Start of development. A little bit different. Choosing
R&D.
No, choosing the hardware. All right, and then wait up. Sorry, up. Can you control F? Matrix. Dot matrix display. Can you click on that?
DMD.
And then like you know what a dot matrix display is?
What?
Well, think about it. So like a matrix, do you know what matrix is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like a system or grid.
It's a grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a grid is like X, Y coordinates, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then you got your columns and your rows.
Mhm.
And like basically numbers in each of those slots.
Mhm.
So like dot matrix display is what the Game Boy is, where it's the essential idea of Jared.
Make your point.
144 pixels by 160 pixels is the exact resolution of the Game Boy display.
Okay.
And that is the number of pixels that it comprises the dot matrix of a Game Boy.
Okay.
And a Game Boy, so when they first Game Boy, the story is that Game Boy devised a team that was comprised of the people that came up with the Game & Watch. You know Game & Watch?
Yeah.
The people that came up with Game & Watch, they were called the handheld division or whatever, and they gave them this assignment to create something that was like even better than Game & Watch, basically, but in the handheld arena, like just like how they were good at that, right?
Mhm.
And the very first idea that they had in their meeting was that their new product would have a dot matrix display, and a dot matrix display is what a Game Boy is. It's literally each.
So
pixel.
what's your point? What's your point?
My point is this: that when they made the Game Boy, they had good ideas at first, and then their whole philosophy after that was to minimize the consumer cost at the end point, so that basically you could walk into a store and buy a Game Boy for like $100 or something, whatever I forget what it was. Do you remember?
I don't remember. So what's
Anyway, so
they lowered the quality of their.
they
of their
lowered the
games?
quality intentionally by choosing black and white over color, by choosing like specific resolutions, by choosing only 4 channels for audio. I have personally, being a programmer who has worked in Game Boy Studio, I've personally developed and recorded music for Game Boy on the audio chip that Game Boy uses. It has 4 channels for audio. Can you imagine composing tracks in that environment, Jared? Anyway, all I'm saying is that Game Boy, its whole philosophy was to make something that capitalized on the one good idea by limiting everying else.
Okay. Yeah.
And the one good idea was battery life. Isn't that crazy? That was the one guiding principle.
Well, they knew that the game, the good cheer, but the good reputation had already been established for the Game Boy. So people already wanted a Game Boy at that point.
They didn't have a Game Boy at that point. I'm talking about the creation of the Game Boy.
Oh, but you're saying they changed
The
it.
Game & Watch is what they had that was the first thing. That team that made the Game Boy made the Game & Watch originally.
Oh, so it was inherently like
They were the handheld division of
Okay.
Nintendo.
Well,
Anyway, well, all I'm saying is this, Jared. They maximized a good idea by limiting insanely, honestly, in some insane ways, limiting the specifications in some other areas, and what they created was a product that is today, if you walked into the local secondhand store or whatever,
Okay.
you'd have to pay $150 for a Game Boy. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but
It's
what's
something that was produced in 1989. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: is Nintendo made their bag originally on this philosophy of lowering the unit cost for the consumer at the very end point when they first originally produced the product. And also, I'll just add this, sprinkle this in. They existed in the late 80s in this environment where consumer manufactured goods were such a high quality. There's a fidelity that was not matched, that's not matched today. So that's why these cartridges, like Game Boy cartridges from 1980 whatever or 1990 whatever, like they still work today and stuff, and like even like the memory on them works. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this, Jared. Nintendo Switch 2 completely and utterly abandons and betrays and inverts the original guiding principle of Nintendo, which is to lower the unit cost for the consumer.
yeah, they abandoned their price friendly. Like they did everything they could to have a good price for the consumer.
That was
Not
like
anymore.
that was in such a degree that was punishing to developers.
Because they had had to prove themselves still. And it's like now once they're already proven
You know what's
themselves.
beautiful about that? Like something like Link's Awakening has the most insanely. Can you pull up some Link's Awakening art, for example? When I was making.
We're kind of wasting all our time here.
When I was making my Game Boy game with Justin, I was constantly referencing Link's Awakening because this game, and not the new version, but the original version, like basically, it's the Akira. It's the masterpiece. It's the masterpiece of old school
of the Game Boy
art. Yeah, the music, the graphics, everything, the gameplay.
You could say this is the best game on the Game Boy.
Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is that they used these insanely limited specifications, but created something like
it was a technical feat, and they tried really hard. They tried really hard to prove a product.
That's the nature of Nintendo or whatever.
Or it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be.
Well, because they had to prove themselves still, and they were building their legacy or building their gratitude to be a.
That was my whole point, Jared. We can move on from that.
So building your gratitude versus having gratitude and riding the wave.
What was Vietnam about?
Like to cash it out. You can cash out your gratitude the way Nintendo is, and then the digital ID leads to the government being able to empty your bank account, which I wanted to show here. You took so much time telling that story. Holy
I know,
cow.
bro. I'm sorry. I need to get better at stuff like this. I tell anecdotes that are very dramatic. I'm sorry. I like to be dramatic, Jared. In fact, I like to catastrophize. This is dead air, so I'm just talking. Here, I'm gonna play a sample.
Over 80 million Vietnamese bank accounts were deactivated or suspended in early September 2025. This mass deactivation was a result of the government's push for mandatory biometric digital identification, which required account holders to link their accounts to a digital ID using facial scans or fingerprints for transactions over a certain amount. Accounts that did not comply with this new digital ID requirement by the by the September 1st, 2005 deadline were deactivated or suspended.
Are you kidding me?
Can you?
What the fuck am I looking at right now?
That's the future. What? That's the future of this digital ID bullshit.
Jared, this is like, I know, I'm perfectly aware of the fact that news like totally like doesn't cover shit, right?
Yeah.
I did not know about this.
Yeah, it's a hidden story. Like, because they're trying to bring the digital ID here and push it to us. And we're gonna be, and like, I think this is the line. This is one of the main things. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a chance to cover anything else here, but they literally want to say that like people are so stupid. Oh no, here's the main takeaway: is that this is the real line in the sound. We shouldn't be waiting for the government to come take your guns before you're ready to take up arms. You should be ready to like quit your job, make sacrifices, move if you have to, like don't do business with the bank, leave your bank, leave anyone who tries to push us on
stop. We have to stop now. Just saying. I told Jared. I told Josiah it's gonna sharp 11. All right, guys.
Come on, man.
Just wrap it. Just do a finale.
So, long story short, I guess we'll do another show later, but the point of this was to show how individuals can make their own value judgments in who they do business with and the value of people's behaviors, products, and services for themselves, and boycotting actually does work, and everybody should be willing to boycott and reject the digital ID, and to embrace this actual already existing mechanism reality called the appreciation economy, which is the real social credit score, and it's something that you can utilize yourself to get business, to advertise. This is also how, man, I didn't even get to go into anything about how governance services. I wanted to go into all these examples of how infrastructure. Hold on a second. How infrastructure services can be produced and provided by individuals when it comes to things like, infrastructure services, roads, electrical grids, plumbing. Grids, all these things. You don't necessarily need a money profit incentive to do them. You can act. This is actually how real advertising works. Is that you could actually get a real advertise. You can act if you, for instance, wanted to promote your business. You could build a road on your street with your residences, and then all the people would know that you are the one that funded the building of a road on your local street. And there's free advertising. That's like the best advertising in the world. There's more than just money profit to be made from doing things, and it more than ever, people are able to see the value of things on a personal, individual level, which is making the idea of titles and authoritative mainstream, mainline, name brand products and services irrelevant and obsolete. I wish I could go over, this is how it's showing how the real social credit score works, and I wish I could also give more examples of decentralized governance services, like, for example, armed neighborhood watch programs, militias, and homeless coalitions, and assassinations guilds, public assassination guilds. We'll go into this later, but I think that there is a real bank to be made. There is real profit to be made. There's a real profit to be made if you just break the law and are willing to just provide good services, good products, good governance services that replace these. Well, because that's what we need. That's the main takeaway of this.
Did we lay groundwork?
Maybe somewhat.
All right, then let's end it.
that you can make your own value judgments on what products suck, what services suck, what behaviors suck. And also what I didn't even get into is the importance of hatred in regards to making value judgments. So we'll talk about that next time. Do you have anything to play us out with?
Yeah, I'm already playing it.
Okay.
I just turned it up.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone, and happy Halloween.
Ooh, boy. I'm so excited. Jared, you have no idea how excited I am to listen back to this. You have no idea. You have no idea. I'm going to be gooning to this later. You can spend the night here if you want.
Is music playing right now?
Yeah. Do you want to spend the night?